Hey, this is Ago. In this video, I want to talk about how to make buyer behavior work for you, not against you. I think it's time that for once and for all, we let go of the old sales language. I'm talking about things like overcoming objections, challenging your buyer. I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds a lot like adversity. It sounds like war is going on or something. The truth about this is that this descends down from an old style command and control model where the seller was in charge, the buyer had reasonably little information to go on, and was heavily dependent on the seller to tell them what they needed to know. This is no longer the case. Buyers today are much more educated, much more informed, much more aware of their options, and have done massively more research before they're ever in front of a seller. In fact, our own research at Green Group clearly shows that collaboration is one of the biggest factors that buyers seek. In fact, the number one reason why buyers choose one firm over another is because the seller educated them with new ideas and perspectives. But the number two reason is because the seller collaborated with them. In other words, they chipped in, they built those new ideas and perspectives together rather than sort of laying those on the buyer and saying, you know what, here's the holy gospel. This is what I believe you should do. That style no longer works. So instead, what does work? Taking a collaborative approach where you help a buyer sharpen their thinking, think through the different options, identify the potential risks and pitfalls, and together construct the best approach moving forward. I can't stress how much this is valued by buyers. Now, I'm a former Fortune 50 financial services executive, and I've had the good fortune of working with dozens, if not hundreds, of senior executives on the buying side in a buying process. And I can tell you, nothing is more valued by your senior executive or manager inside a large corporation, or even a mid-sized one, than someone from the outside who's coming in, gives them an external perspective, helps them sharpen their thinking, and helps them identify and address and mitigate the risks and the pitfalls that are in front of them. Another great way for helping the buyer along is to help them build a business case and help them make the internal sale. And again, this is very much about collaboration. This isn't about you cooking up some ROI model, somewhere, in a spreadsheet and then coming and presenting that to the buyer. This is really about building it together, understanding the factors, the drivers that go into it, the monetary and non-monetary elements, how to combine those, how to weigh those, and then identifying some plausible, intelligent scenarios together in terms of what a potential return on investment might look like. And keep this in mind, in today's world, most buyers don't have a set budget. They don't have some kind of they have a budget they can tap into, but rarely, if ever, is that budget allocated to something specific like the product or service that you might be selling. So your job is to help them build a business case, look at it from various angles, and help them, even with senior executives, help them sell it internally to their constituents. And then finally, probably the biggest shift I've seen in terms of what makes sellers successful in the post-recession, post-2007, 2008 world is that most sellers today who are successful act like consultants, not like sellers. In other words, they're out there, they adopt a collaborative approach from the start in terms of collaborating with their buyers, in terms of working with their buyers towards a joint goal. It's really taking that approach, and I know this sounds a little quaint or maybe old school, but it's really taking that approach of us versus the problem rather than you versus me. So just a couple of things to think about in terms of how to make buyer behavior work for you, not against you. Think collaboration, not confrontation. Help your buyer build a business case together and make the internal sale to their constituents, to their peers, to their management team. Help them avoid the potential pitfalls, gaps, and risks that they may not be aware of, but you do see. And finally, think and act like a consultant first and a seller second. If you like that video, sign up for my YouTube channel where I share weekly videos just like this one, short, brief, to the point, actionable, with strategies, tips, techniques to help you sell more, to help you be more successful, and to help you generate better results for your business, for your career, whatever the case may be. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.